thank you all for coming here today to say goodbye to my Lisa. I never thought I would bury my own daughter, my own blood, my pride, yet I can't do this. Rico, please say something.
There. It's all right. What can I say about someone dying so young? Particularly someone as special as Lisa. If I may, I won't dwell on the circumstances of her tragic death today. Instead, I'd like us to celebrate her life. Despite her obvious calling for medicine, when she was little, I always thought she would become a famous musician. You should have seen her with her fiddle when she was only 5. The instrument was half her size, but when she played, oh Lord, did your heart start filling up? Such a bright girl. Always a top student. Always the pride of her parents by the time she graduated. Lisa must have read every book there was in the school's library. To my shame, I'm not so well read myself, but she used to teach me about all the classics. That served me very well at dinner parties. I can't tell you how proud we all were when she was accepted at the medical academy. I had no doubt that she was destined for greatness. But to become a doctor, one of the first women to achieve that in the whole country, if someone deserved that honor, it was our Lisa. But my niece was so much more than a gifted student. Her violin talents aside, what everybody truly knew her by was her artistic nature and angelic voice. Do you remember her summer night performances at the cabin? Her singing, no matter the song, time or place, it felt like it spoke to you alone. Haunting, otherworldly, beautiful. She was my favorite niece. Let us raise a glass to her. Pour some vodka for Kolya, too. He is old enough to send his sister off. A piece of my soul went into the ground with her today, as I'm sure did many of yours. Let those pieces help Lisa, wherever she is now. To Lisa.
When I was a little girl, I often had trouble falling asleep. My mother used to sing me this lullaby to comfort me. Tonight, I slept deeper than I had in my entire life. I had a disturbing dream that a string was coming out of my mouth. When I started pulling it, I realized that it came from all the way down my throat, buried somewhere deep in my body. I kept pulling, but I couldn't go too quickly for fear of burning myself with friction. Finally, the whole string was out. I felt relieved, but also strangely empty. I realized that I was in my bed, with my mother sitting beside me, crying. I didn't know why she was in tears, but I knew it was my fault. Dear Lord. Mom? Kolya? My body feels like it's stuffed with cotton. Like I slept for days. Either this is a nightmare. My medical journal from the academy and my family medallion. Who could have brought this here? Locked. Hello? Anyone? Hello? Who is this? I'm locked inside. Please help. Are you still there? Maybe you can't talk? Please knock twice for yes and once for no. Thank goodness. Can you help me open the door? Thank you. Thank you so much. Will you help me? What is it that you want from me? I don't have much, but I can owe you a favor? And it's settled. Whoever you are, do you hear me? If you open this door, I, Elizaveta Morozova, will be in your debt. What the hell is this? My shoulder just felt like it was burning up. I can't see anything from this angle. I should check up on it later. It's open. No one. What have I gotten myself into? Hello? Can anybody hear me? What a peculiar painting. The husband and wife in the picture don't look very happy. If I had to guess, I'd say it wasn't the perfect marriage. It smells like death here. There's someone's money in here. I could live on this for a week. After all that has happened, I think I deserve this. floor is covered by a sheet. People only do that when someone dies. Mother explained that this is so the dead soul does not get lost and trapped inside. Silly superstition, of course. We live in the age of science where there's no room for this nonsense. What is this? Where is my reflection? I can't see myself. It must be a trick mirror. Eerie. This is unbearable. I'm a doctor. I can get through. Give me strength, no matter what is on the other side. What in heavens is all this? I will make sense of all this later. Something is wrong. My head is spinning. I feel the floor slipping from under my feet.
Would you look at her? How does one have the gall to show at the Countess's manor in such a filthy outfit?
She must be a nihilist. It's spreading all over the country like a plague.
You two don't know what you're talking about. It's the latest rage in Paris now. The dirtier, the better. I'm starving, and the food looks so fresh and delicious, but the strangest thing is, I have absolutely no appetite for it.
Have you heard? The Countess is sending me on a special assignment to the capital.
You lucky devil. I've been stuck here for years. I swear, I'd dull my fangs just to spend a night in the city.
Hey, stop messing with the phonograph. It's not a toy.
Sorry.
Miss, are you all right?
Mind your own business, Petya. It's rude to stare at a lady.
Sorry.
I'm starving, and the food looks so fresh and delicious, but...
I know it's not ideal, Countess Orlova, but I'm afraid there is not much we can do at this point.
Of course now there bloody isn't. The right time to act was last week. I don't understand where this influx of product is coming from. It's undercutting our prices. Where were you when I... Who is this creature? Darling, you look like a little domovoy. Come over here. I don't bite.
Hello? I'm Eliza.
You must be the doctor's new apprentice. Look at you, poor thing. You must be fresh out of the ground.
Excuse me?
Ugh, nobody must have actually inducted you. How typical. No surprise with the men around here.
She was not supposed to wake.
I'd love to catch you up, dear, but sadly I have some urgent business to attend to, thanks to this gentleman over here. Hussar, be a darling and show this young lady around once she's decent.
As you wish, madam. If you'll excuse me, I'll go for a smoke on the balcony. You can find me there.
You're excused. If I recall my first day correctly, your head must be killing you. Here, drink this.
Thank you. May I ask what this is?
If you know too much, you'll grow old sooner. Trust me, it will lift your spirits.
Whatever this is, it's beyond delicious. It's sweet and thick and tastes like cherry and wild strawberries. Thank you. I do feel a lot better all of a sudden.
Now go change. We can't have you gallivanting around in those scrubs. There is a nice dress about your size in the cloakroom. Consider this my welcome gift.
Thank you kindly, madam. Madam Orlova.
You're welcome, child. Now off you go, change and mingle.
Countess is right. Countess is right. Another cloth on a mirror. Something bad must have happened. How strange. This mirror doesn't work either. That should do it, hopefully. The Countess sure has excellent taste in literature. In other circumstances, I'd spend all day here reading. I can't go out there like this. I'm not decent. Goodness, this must be the dress the Countess was talking about. Such an ornate Western style. It must cost a small fortune. I want nothing more than to change out of this horrible nightgown, but this is just too much. It's perfect. Fits like a glove. I still don't know what's happening here, or at least I hope I don't. But delaying the inevitable is just tying my stomach in knots. I need to find that young man and learn the truth.
Please tell me you have some good news for me.
Good evening, Hussar.
Ah, there's our belle of the ball. Lisa, right? You actually don't look half bad when you're not covered in graveyard dirt.
Graveyard dirt? First the Countess, now you? Why is everyone going on about funerals?
Surely an educated lady like you must have put together who we are by now, haven't you?
I'd rather not guess. Please, just tell me straight. Who are you?
Simply, we are vampires.
Is this why I had no reflection in the mirror?
If that's what you're concerned about, you look just fine.
Does this mean I'm dead?
Dead, alive, who the hell cares? Trust me, Lisa, you just won the lottery.
What about my family? When can I see them?
I was worried you will ask me that. Technically, they think you are dead, and it is best for everyone if they keep thinking that. It's true, too.
I can't just leave them like this. They have to know I'm all right.
Look, I know this is too much for you to take in right now. Maybe that's a conversation we should revisit another time.
Countess calls you Hussar. What's your real name?
At this point, I've been called that far longer than my real name. Just call me that.
All right, Hussar it is. I have so many questions.
See, that's what I was afraid of. Theory is not my forte. I'm a proponent of learning by doing. Why don't you go talk the ears off some other guests while I finish smoking in peace? After that, I can show you what it's really like to be one of us.
I suppose I can do that. Could you at least tell me a little bit about the people, the guests in there?
Oh, come on. Where is your spirit of adventure? I'm sure you'll figure it out on your own.
All right then. I'll go see if someone can actually help me.
Meh.
All right. Thank you kindly. I'll be back soon enough.
No rush, please.
I do actually have a model right here with me. I always carry Matilda with me, just in case a good opportunity strikes. You never know. Look into her eyes. Doesn't she look alive to you? Like she's going to blink?
Yes, well. Apologies.
Petya.
Petya, we should probably go and discuss some urgent business with the Countess.
Oh, of course. In fact, I'd love to meet her as...
I don't know how, but I can just sense that he is not one of us. Such a strange feeling. Attraction? No, but something very similar. He is most certainly human.
Oh, hello. It's you, lady in the nightgown. How are you feeling? I was really worried.
Much better. Thank you. I'm Lisa, by the way.
Of course. Where are my manners? I'm Petya.
It's a pleasure. You were the only one who seemed to care about my illness.
Oh, nonsense. They are a lovely bunch around here, just all very busy. The third group I'm pitching my dolls to, and everyone keeps running off for urgent business.
How did you end up being invited here, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, that's all thanks to Elisa, the lovely young woman in the yellow dress. She saw me at the town market and saw some real potential in my work. She said that the people in the manor might be interested in seeing it, and you didn't have to ask me twice.
I see. How is pitching going so far?
I'll admit, it's a little slow, but the night is still young.
You are an optimistic guy, aren't you, Petya?
My mother used to say that my hope will be the death of me. But what's the point of living if you don't believe in people and yourself?
You may be right about that. At least I truly hope you are. Did you say you're selling dolls?
And making them, yes.
I see you have one with you. May I take a look?
Of course. Matilda here is my favorite. I'd love to get some honest feedback. Well, what do you think?
Oh, it's just lovely. So detailed and human-like. She reminds me of the one I had when I was a little girl.
That's exactly what I wanted to accomplish. Thank you. I knew someone here would appreciate it. I'm hoping to show her to the Countess. With her approval, the sky's the limit. You know, making toys is what I wanted to do since I was a little boy. My father always called this foolishness, among other things. Said it's not manly work. I never managed to convince him otherwise.
I'm sorry. That must have been tough.
Well, here I am, still at it. I do have a feeling that I'm onto something with Matilda. Just you wait. My gut tells me that tonight is going to bring something special, and it's never wrong.
Best of luck with everything, Petya. Hope everything works out with the Countess.
Thank you, Lisa. You're very kind.
Have you tried the Countess's Cabernet? Honestly, I think this may have been the best one I ever tasted.
I prefer to stick to clear drinks around here. If you really want to try some decent Cabernet, stop by my salon on the main street.
Oh, that sounds like a challenge. I'll take you up on that offer.
Hello. I don't think I've seen you around here before. I'm Arbin.
I'm Lisa. Good evening to you, too.
You don't sound so sure. Is it really a good one for you?
You're right. If I'm honest, it hasn't been the easiest night.
That's what I thought. My advice is always be honest, unless you absolutely can't be. In the end, it does make everyone feel better.
That's a good piece of advice.
Stick with me, lovely. I'm chock full of them.
I couldn't help but overhear that you are a wine expert.
I dabble. I run a literary salon in town and serve drinks there.
How exciting. All kinds of interesting people must come by.
You'd be surprised, my dear, and mildly disappointed. I'd love for you to stop by one day. I'll treat you to a round of something nice.
I'll make sure to visit. Since you're an expert, may I ask you about the wine that the Countess gave me? I'll admit I found it delicious, but it wasn't really wine, was it?
It was not. Cabernet was sort of our code word for blood, so we don't shock any innocents. And then we just got used to it. Funny how language works, isn't it?
Yes. Funny. Arbin, I've only just been turned, and all of this is very new to me. May I trouble you for some advice?
I hope you don't mind me asking, but has someone in your family enjoyed wine a little too much?
Yes. My father. Wine, vodka, anything he can drink, really. You aren't clairvoyant, are you?
Everyone becomes a little clairvoyant if they live long enough and pay attention. I saw you drinking that glass earlier, and I think you should be careful around it, my dear.
Alcohol's my father's problem. It isn't mine.
It's not just alcohol you should be concerned about. You can keep away from it if you want. Blood, however, you will now have to drink whether you like it or not.
Whether I like it or not.
Demons are hereditary, my dear. Always remember that.
Well, I should get going.
Good luck. I have a feeling we'll see each other soon.
Locked. 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 I'm starving, and the food looks so fresh and delicious, but the strangest thing is, I have absolutely no appetite for it.
Come on. Don't any of you cowards want to have any fun?
My lady, with all due respect, Russian roulette just seems like, too much fun for the night.
Fine, get lost then. Be on your merry way. Who knew that the second time I die would be of boredom? Now, would you look at this pretty picture? I could barely recognize you from before. Where did you get this dress?
It's a gift from the Countess. She is very generous.
Huh. I thought it looked familiar. Name is Alisa, by the way.
Lisa, it's a pleasure. So, I've just been turned today.
Congratulations. That must be quite shocking. Thrilling, even. I'm envious, really.
Yes, thank you. I'm not quite sure how to process all this yet. What does one even do with this? Being dead, drinking blood, who knows what else?
Same thing anyone around here does. Masticating plain eternity day after day. Spicing it up any way you can.
Hence the Russian roulette.
We're already dead, aren't we? What else is there to lose? Do you fancy a round?
Maybe some other time.
Suit yourself.
May I ask who was the young man you talked with earlier? Making conversation.
Don't be shy. We're not attached. Petya is human. I picked him up at the town market. He is a salesman. A ridiculously bad one at that.
If you two are not an item, may I ask why did you invite him over?
Because it was my turn.
A turn for what?
To spice up the eternity.
So, it's true what they say? Vampires live forever?
We exist forever. We don't live. But then again, few do.
Does this mean that we can't, stop existing?
Oh, sweetheart, there is nothing easier. Just stop drinking blood for a few days, fall from a high roof, or just step into the sunlight.
I should probably be writing this all down.
So, now that you have eternity on your side, do you consider your existence more valuable?
No, of course not. Pulse or no pulse, life is just as valuable as it always was.
I see. In that case, how would you compare the value of your new existence to, say, Petya's?
If I'm honest, I'd have to say mine. To think of how much I'd be able to accomplish now.
Fair enough. Still, it's an interesting thought experiment, isn't it?
Indeed. Excuse me, I think someone is calling for me.
Good timing. I just finished up.
Yes, how lucky.
Don't be snappy, Lisa. Smoking is an important routine for a soldier. Can't be interrupted. So, are there any other questions you have left for me?
What is going on in the basement of the manor? It's absolutely terrifying down there.
Oh yes, the basement. If I were you, I would just forget all about it.
Excuse me?
All I know is that Countess conducts her business and she doesn't.
If it's so confidential, how come I ended up there in the first place?
Minor oversight. You were supposed to be moved upstairs before you were up, but appears that you are an early riser.
And whose oversight was it, may I ask?
Let's not focus on casting blame, shall we? I say all's well that ends well. So, are there any other questions you have left for me?
Who ended up letting me out of the chamber?
If I'm honest, I haven't the foggiest idea. I thought you knew.
Well, I don't. And whoever it was gives me the goosebumps. On top of everything, I ended up promising them a favor and felt a bad burn on my shoulder right after that. Do you know what it could possibly be?
Let me take a look. Oh, brother.
What? What is it?
It could be nothing, really. No need to worry. Just make sure that you show this to the doctor when you see him, all right?
All right.
So, are there any other questions you have left for me?
If vampires are real, does this mean other fairy tales are?
You'll have to be more specific than that.
Rusalkas? Domovoys? Ghosts?
Yes, no, yes. We'll spend all night here if we keep talking about flora and fauna. If you want my advice, focus on yourself first. That always ends up working for me. So, are there any other questions you have left for me?
I suppose that's it for the time being.
Perfect. If you don't mind me asking, what do you make of all this? I take it you've done a couple laps around the ballroom. Learned a little more about what it's like to be one of us.
Well, for starters, I'm still dead, apparently. Dead.
Oh, get over it already. What's even the difference between being dead or alive? You can walk, you can talk, what else do you need?
What about my immortal soul?
See, I know you're that type, getting all bogged down in the details. It's a minor inconvenience, really, for everything that you get in return.
And what do we get in return?
All right. Have you read Thunderstorm?
I'm not so sure. Why?
Well, unlike Katerina in the play, you no longer need to wonder why people can't fly.
How?
By sheer will, Lisa. It's very simple.
How are you even talking with me in such a state?
That's yet another benefit of being one of us. We can project our thoughts into people's minds. I prefer it, really. I find normal speech kind of primitive.
Why don't you do it all the time, then?
I'd love to, but you don't want to get too used to it and scare a human by accident. Now, why don't you try it? Let's see what kind of bat you are.
Goodness!
Isn't this a hoot? Come on, I'll show you around. Seems like you're catching on. Follow me.
I can't believe I'm actually flying.
All this talk about death. Don't you feel more alive than you ever have right now? Shh. There. Look.
If only I have 3 coins to my name, then I'd show 'em. They'd all see.
Is this what you wanted to show me? A drunk peasant?
What I wanted to show you is how to use your new powers. Meet Trophime. He is the Countess's former serf, now custodian and coachman. Among other things, he makes sure no one goes in or out of here without her permission. Important man. Now, come with me. How is life, Trophime?
My lord, is that you? Or the bottle you gave me? Highest quality. Much obliged.
I can see that. It's nearly empty already. All right, enough pleasantries. Watch this.
What happened to him? Is he all right?
He is fine. We call this enchantment.
What does enchantment do exactly?
It makes people tranquil. While they are in trance, they don't feel pain or have a clear memory of what happened.
So they don't remember anything once they're enchanted?
Not quite. They may not remember what happened, but they won't forget how you made them feel.
Sounds like a subject for some awkward conversations.
You don't know the half of it yet. You'll see.
So, how do I enchant someone? I don't know if I can whistle like you.
Don't worry, whistling is just for me. It's like a cure for the hiccups. Everybody has their own way. When you need it, it will come to you.
Does this mean you can just come up to anybody and make them tranquil?
In theory, but it's not quite that simple. Firstly, they have to like you, an important condition. Without it, the charm won't work. Secondly, you should only do it to humans.
So it doesn't work on other vampires?
I didn't say that.
Hmm?
There are rumors that the best of the best can indeed enchant their own kind. But I don't even know if the Countess has that kind of power. Besides, this would certainly not be considered ethical by our vampire brothers and sisters.
I bet they wouldn't mind to have that power, though.
Oh, without a doubt.
Does this mean you can...
In first, sec...
So it...
I didn't say...
Hmm?
There... Besides...
I bet they would...
Oh, with...
So why would you want to enchant someone?
I thought you might ask that. There are two main reasons. One, people in a trance are easily suggestible. You can use that to influence their thoughts and opinions.
That doesn't sound right.
Well, I didn't say you have to do it, did I? Everyone lives with their own choices.
When you say influence their thoughts, does this mean they will do anything I say?
Only within reason, of course, especially when you are a beginner. Impression is a delicate art and takes a lot of practice.
And what is the second reason?
I think you already know.
What have you done?
I just opened him up for you. Don't worry, he'll be just fine unless we bleed him dry. Come here. It's time for you to learn how to feed.
I don't know if I'm ready.
You're as ready as you'll ever be.
How do I turn?
Just relax and let your instincts take over. It will come naturally.
My mouth, it's bleeding.
Of course, I forgot to warn you. Sorry. Don't worry, it's normal. That happens when your fangs are out for the first time. It will recover in a minute.
His skin smells like wild berries. But not just the smell, the promise of warmth that draws you. The promise of being whole. I want to feel it on my teeth, in my body. No, I can't do this. I don't think I can do it. I'm sorry.
All right. But if the Countess asks, promise you'll say that you've done it. I don't want to get in trouble because you chickened out.
I promise.
Remember, you have to learn to do it to survive. I better get back to my other errands. Don't want to get my tunic wet. Do you remember the way back?
I do. Hussar? Thank you for your help. I had a rough day, and it means a lot to me.
Don't mention it. I ended up having a decent time myself. I'll see you soon.
I should get back to the manor and talk with the Countess. I'll process this all later. Where will I live? What's next? There's so much I have to sort out.